with Steve. It's been a while, but I'm back, and today we're going to be making eggplant. And I've made some eggplant parmesan in a separate video, but today we're going to make a Greek dish called moussaka. So first let's fire up the oven to 425 degrees. And what I'll do is peel this eggplant and we'll slice it into thin strips, thin circles, and then we'll salt them and leave them for a few minutes. So I'll get working on that and come back. So what I've done is cut the eggplant into circles, and I'm just going to take a little bit of kosher salt and sprinkle it on top of them. And then I'm going to take a cookie sheet and just lay it on top of the eggplant. Got to fit them all underneath here. And just press down on it and let it sit here for about 10 minutes and move on to the next step, and then we'll bake them in the oven. Eggplant has been sitting in the 2 layers of paper towels that was salted, and I've sprayed a cookie sheet with some cooking spray, and we're just going to put a little bit of black pepper on top of the eggplant. And then we'll transfer them over to the cookie sheet. Okay, and then we'll top it off with a little cooking spray. We'll bake these in the oven at 425 degrees for 7 minutes, and then we'll flip it over and let them cook for another 7 minutes, and then they'll be ready. Okay, popping them into the oven. And we'll set the timer for 7 minutes and move on to making the meat product. Okay, I'm going to add some olive oil, about a teaspoon, to a frying pan. And to that I'm going to add a pound. I'm using some ground turkey. Spoon out. And to that I'm going to add, I chopped up a small onion and 4 tablespoons of garlic cloves. I actually today am using the kind you buy in the jar, the garlic in a jar. And we'll cook this until the chicken is cooked, probably 6 to 8 minutes. And I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I just wanted to give you a shot of what this looks like as it's cooking. That's the turkey, onions, and the garlic. And it's always hard for me to film it and turn the food for you. But you're getting the general idea. It's been cooking for about 3 minutes. I'm going to probably cook it for about 7 or 8. And then we'll add the rest of the spices. We're going to add some tomatoes. We're going to add some bulgur wheat and some mint, a little bit of black pepper, kosher salt, and some allspice. Okay, the chicken and the onion mixture and garlic is cooking. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some of the spices. So we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of fresh mint. We're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of allspice. I'm going to put that in. It's really going to smell great. I'm adding a 1/2 cup of the bulgur wheat, which you can get in any supermarket. And then we're going to add 2 cans of undrained diced tomatoes. And we're going to stir this, and then we're going to cover it and simmer it for about 20 minutes. And I think my timer is about to go off on the eggplant slices because it's been about 8 minutes. So I'm going to flip them over in the meantime and then show you what this is. I just wanted to give you a quick look. This is what the eggplant looks like. And it was baked in the oven for 7 or 8 minutes. Now I'm going to pop it back in there and cook it for another 7 minutes after I've turned it over. Okay, so all of our food is cooked. I guess I should give you a shot of it. There's the meat in the pan. And here are the eggplant slices that were baked. And now what we're going to do is take an 8x8 little pan and spray it with cooking spray. And what we're going to do is put a layer of eggplant, then a layer of meat, then a layer of eggplant, and a layer of meat. and we'll make a casserole, and then we're going to make a feta cheese topping to put on top of it. So I'll work on layering it, and we'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, now we're going to make the sauce that goes on top. We're going to take a tablespoon of butter and melt it in a saucepan, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour and 1 cup of milk, and we're gradually going to bring it up to a boil. We're going to add in 2 garlic cloves that have been crushed, and we'll cook it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll transfer it to the food processor, where we will add some nutmeg, half a quarter teaspoon, and a half a cup of feta cheese, and then some plain yogurt, and then we'll pour that on top of the meat that has been placed into the casserole dish or baking dish that was coated with cooking spray. So let me get the butter melted. There it goes, and I'll add in the flour. And I won't have enough time to show you the whole process, but I'll melt the flour and the butter together. It'll get like a paste, and then I'll slowly pour in the milk. Okay, I'll give you a shot. This is what the milk and flour and butter combo looks like with the garlic cubes. I'm going to add that into the food processor. And let me just grab a spatula. To that, we're going to add a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, which I had out. And then we're going to add a half a cup of feta cheese and 1 cup of plain yogurt with no flavor. Okay, in goes, it was a half a cup of feta. So that goes in, and then 1 cup of plain yogurt. Okay, and then we're going to pour this on top of the meat mixture and bake it in the oven at 425 degrees for about 35 minutes. And here's what the moussaka looks like before it goes in the oven. Now the top is going to get real brown and bubbly, and you'll see that after it's done. Okay, the moussaka is cooked and the top is brown, and we'll plate this dish. Hi, and thanks for watching another episode of Muscle Meals with Steve. I hope you liked the moussaka, and as always, I wish you good health through good eating. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it.